Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Widener Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention Mike Widener Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews in Evil Evan enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Widener Show at themikewidenershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music. Also heard on Hamilton Radio, Oldies FM, Diamonds Radio, and a few networks coming soon. Take the Mike Widener Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Widener Show on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow the Mike Widener Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. For great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Widener Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, baseball gear, 24/7 makes great gifts for your family, friends, and loved ones. Go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Widener Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Wrinkles, Missing, Once, and more cool books, plus great merchandise like T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and phone cases and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. I'll support the Mike Widener Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWidenerShow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with a terrific lady who's a graduate of the University of Rwanda with a bachelor's in clinical psychology. She was awarded an American Diversity Immigrant Visa to travel to the U.S. and later became a challenge. We'll talk about that. She has a new memoir which shares her everyday life experience in the United States about friendship, love, opportunity, longing, aspirations, harassment, racism, loneliness, sex, dating, and a lot more, cultural differences. But of course, she's got a king scroll of just about everything and loves to talk about her ventures in the U.S., which is called Faraway From My Roots. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Los Angeles, the author of the amazing book, Faraway From My Roots, and a graduate of University of Rwanda, ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Ivania Inyange. Ivania, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, it's great to have you on board, too. I mean, we're excited for someone coming from Rwanda over the United States. I mean, you guys got some great stories, I'll tell you, share.
I hope I'm the first one on your show.
Well, you know what? I'll have to say for right now, you'll be the first. And if you're second and third, we'll still make you the first. So
okay, that's
and so here, and the reason why is because you're a graduate of the University of Rwanda. You graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Clinical Psychology. You're awarded an American Diversity Immigrant Visa to travel to the United States, and later became a challenge. You end up in Los Angeles. Your new memoir called Far Away From My Roots shares your everyday life experiences about friendship, love, opportunity, longing, aspirations, along with harassment, racism, loneliness, sex, dating, and more, plus some cultural differences and, sharing about that. But I mean, just an amazing book and talking about, what's it like, living in your native country, along with being in the United States. I mean, just a really good book. And before getting all that, Ivania, tell us how you first got started.
Yes, this is a book. It's about my journey leaving my country. After I graduated, I was finishing my school. I was looking for what's going to be the next, but I like to study. And then luckily in the same year, I won the American Diversity Visa. That's why I came. My dream came true to be in a country like America, and then with like everyone else, I believed I would be rich. I would get everything in the easy way. And then the first time I set up my feet on the land, it was not easy. That's when I have to face different challenges, from the weather to the making friends, as I said, from with different stories in my book. Yeah, this is the book I wrote for the rest of the immigrants. We have, everyone has, it doesn't matter which background you have, whatever you're coming from, Africa, Philippines, this is a country where we have many people from around the world. We have this kind of thinking that that it's easy to get everything. So this is the book I wrote for everyone to see how it's really a challenge to manage to have that kind of a success with everything there. It can be making friends, as you say, dating, food, weather. So yeah, that's basically what I wrote, and I call it a land of plenty, pleasure, and prejudice.
Mm-hmm. And of course, what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing? And what was that first precise moment or that thought in your mind that you wanted to come to US?
I wished before, even before I finished my classes at back Rwanda, I wish to get more education, further education, and it's not easy. So that was my first wish. So winning a green card was a dream come true. I knew I was going to be able to study. I knew I would be able to achieve whatever I want, as the American identity says. So that, but after I won the green card, in my mind, I came, oh, this is the chance to go to get further education.
Okay. Okay. And also when it comes to University of Rwanda as well too, and of course, comparative colleges in the US, what was the college level like over Rwanda compared to most of the US colleges as well too? Was it just as competitive? Was it tougher or more, a little more lenient? Or what was it like at the University of Rwanda, say, compared to most of the campuses in the United States?
Of course, back home, the school, it was easier for me in a way. My background, all my education were in French, so it was easy. But when I got here, when I tried to go back to school, when I came, by the way, I didn't know any English. So probably the farthest was making a simple sentence for saying hi, good morning. So the first challenge was the language.
Okay.
The second, when I was on the campus with, I was living in the dorm, it was hard, these cultural differences. It was hard for me to know who can I make friends, who can I be friends with, how can I address them? How it was a challenge from, in all the way, in everything, because in my way, in my country back home, the way you have friends, the way you build a friendship with people, the way you address people, it's completely different from here. So seeing myself in a dorm with just me as me, with someone that I never know, that we don't have the basic culture, we don't speak the same language, if I can say, it was not easy. Understanding the concept in terms of material that I have to learn, that was okay. It was, sometimes it was challenge too, because sometimes I would write and then my professor would say, I see, probably here you were thinking French. So, but the most, but the most part was, the hard part was to live the normal life, feeling like you belong to a community, you have friends, they understand you, that was the main challenges. More than, of course, if you go to the Compiato campus in terms of buildings, or of course, my country is a developing country. It has been doing well since the genocide, but there's no way you can compare the university here compared to back home.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And plus, in talking about learning English as well, too, were you required to take like any English classes, or listen to tapes or anything like that? And what was your main source of learning English when you came to the States? And from what I understand, you end up in Los Angeles.
So when I came, the only way I was learning was just sitting in front of TV. And then when I started my first job, my second job, because I failed my first job. So my second job was being a caregiver. And I was learning it, Mike, everything's just a commitment. I remember the first time when I went there, I asked my roommate, I said, what am I going to do? How am I going to talk to the residents? She said, she told me the most thing is just to show them you are there for them. The rest will be you. So then I had this commitment to, I said every night, every day, on every shift, I have to learn at least new words, new verb, and then I will have to learn new expressions. So I learned a lot with my job, and then catching the accent was through the televisions. And then after I went for English classes.
Okay. And what were some of your TV shows that you watched where you got to learn English?
The first one was, it's just, I want to learn everything, to know why people laughing. So I used to watch back home different shows, and and back home was the only way to watch that. Was my friend, if my friend would be recorded everything, then hand it to me. So here I was having, I was kind of on the couch, like I'm part of the audience in the show. So a different show, from Ellen DeGeneres, from the Today, Good Morning, everything. To me, when you're learning a new language, they will tell you read, even though you don't understand, just read. That was the key. I was reading many books. I was just sitting in front of TV, trying to, to see, okay, I'm going to sit here and see what I'm going to get. And then day by day, I would catch new words, and then I would be until I was able to laugh with the audience.
Yeah, I can imagine something like that too. And we'll talk more about your book, Faraway From My Roots, and some experiences you also went through, Ivania. But first, listen to the Mike Widener Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Widener Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has got great reviews and even endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia. Available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Widener Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries, also on Hamilton Radio, Diamonds FM, Oldies Radio, and a few networks coming soon. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Widener Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Widener Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. For great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Widener Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. Also support the Mike Widener Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with the terrific, multi-talented Ivania Inyange here on the Mike Widener Show and her new book, Faraway From My Roots. Before we continue with your memoir as well, too, you studied at the University of Rwanda with bachelor's associate in clinical psychology. And what made you choose to go into a clinical psychology field?
When I finished my high school, I hope I believe the story of my country about genocide. So the country were after post-genocide, and they need more people to help other people. So I couldn't find more. I couldn't find anything as a career more than being a psychologist, because I know people were needing more to be healed. So that was the reason why I chose to be to go into clinical psychology more than anything else.
Okay. And of course, you come to the United States, and what is your goal of, being a clinical psychologist or career field? And what would be your goal, establish a job in the United States?
My goal was when I came, my goal was, first of all, to understand English and then go for school. But then I knew from the beginning that I'm looking for a career that can help me for serving underserved people, if I can say.
Okay.
So when I was looking, the combination that can go with clinical psychology, so I chose public health. So here I did master's degree in public health.
Okay. Okay. And of course, working in public health and everything else, you work in hospitals, institutions, and everything else. How's the hospital system in Rwanda compared to the United States so far?
I would say that right now, since I would say there's no way you can compare that. I would say from my heart, from my country, this is a country that went through a lot. Compared to other countries, it's doing well, it's doing better. But with that, institutions are completely different in terms of infrastructures, in terms of personnel, in terms of, so it's I won't do any comparison about those.
Yeah. Right. And that's totally understandable too. And of course, you also, you talk about friendship, and, you work your way through, and, of course, love, opportunity. We talked about that, and longing, aspirations. You have that. And you also experienced some hardships as well too. We talked a bit about love, but there's also, you wrote in your book about harassment, racism, loneliness, sex, dating, and more. And maybe touch about, on some of those.
So when I came, I landed in Akron. That's where I was hosted by one of the family, came from back home. They have been here for long. So the first challenge was the weather. When you are back home, I came from a country, a tropical country, when even it's raining, you don't need a jacket sometimes. So
That's a good reminder when I visit. Don't bring jackets.
you don't, unless you revisit like the high mountains, that right there. But even if it's high mountains, it won't be under, let's say, 52 degrees. So landing a apron when it's already, maybe it was probably at the time was 9.
Wow.
So the next day I couldn't step outside. I remember, no, the next day I went outside, and then my host can you put on the jacket, please? Then I was, because there was it was sunny. So I didn't imagine myself with such sunshine, it would be so damn much cold. So I went outside, but then I couldn't even go further than more than 3 minutes. So, and then when it came to December, I learned how to layer the legging, and then the jeans, and then a coat, and then scarf. So that was, sometimes people, they would see snow in the movie, but you can't get that kind of coldness unless you are here. So then I was there, the challenge of with the first job, and then I managed to do well, and then I moved for school here at Loma Linda University. That's when after 1 year I stopped, then I moved to Los Angeles. When I moved to LA, I didn't know anyone. I just moved with my car and my suitcases and with my books. So I rented the studio, and from there, that's when I started, bouncing job to job, just to try to get to meet my needs. And that's also where I faced a lot of things. Like, I remember when I went to, I knew I have to meet people, make friends. But then when the girl that I met, we exchanged numbers, we say, okay, we can hang out. I remember the first time when I went to her place, I went there, she told me that we were supposed to go to a private party that she got an invitation for. And then when I got to her place, it was not the case. She was with the other two girls, and then they say, let's have fun here. Let's enjoy ourselves. And then we like a couple minutes ago, after there were, one guy came in, and then he was just saying hi to everyone and kissing everyone, the three girls on the lips. Then I was like, oh, wait. So then they say we are going to have fun, and home there's no party. And then it was just, I heard the concept of threesome, but I didn't never believe that would be happening in front of my eyes. For someone that I went to visit for the first time. So I remember that's the time I say, okay, I have to get out. So my mind have came up with an excuse to go to add some, to check on my parking for my car. And then when I left, I didn't come back. So, and the next time I tried to meet someone, dating, it was kind of a dating him. I remember we spoke, we texting, calls. And then when he invited me for the first official date, we went to the restaurant in West Hollywood, and it was so beautiful. And then when he dropped me home, he wants to come with me inside my house. Then I was, no, I have to go to bed because tomorrow I have to go to work. And he said, no, will you let me come in? And then I say no. And he said, he left. He left, but I can see he was so pissed. In the next morning, he didn't text me back. In the evening, there was no call. And then later in the night, he sent me a message. He said, well, I think we have to stop this, because if we can't have sex, then there's no any meaning of this relationship. But then I was like, my question was like, is this the right way to date in America? Because sometimes anything will happen, I will think like, it's because that is not my culture, or is this where how he could react if it was an American girl, if she refused. Because, with the accent, everyone, of course, will have to ask, where are you coming from? So no matter what, someone will have to know that I'm not from here. So this kind of trying to live a normal life, but facing those type of challenges, and that's what makes me feel like, yeah, I'm far from my roots, because I don't know which is supposed to be right, which is supposed to be wrong. Because the more I hold on my customs, it looks like it was not the right way to live with people, to have friends, to date. So it's a combination of everything.
You talk about you having trouble with the friendship part and the dating part and the sex part in the United States. What was the custom like when it comes to friendship, dating, sex? You talked about, back in Rwanda. What was their custom over there?
For example, there is no for friendship. It's back home. If I have to meet someone maybe and decide to be friends, I don't believe she will invite you to do such thing for the first time. We have this cultural way of addressing people and reveal some of the things that you can do, not in that way, not like on the first day, not like, and again, with my culture, when it comes to sex, it's something like, you can't do that in front of someone. It's something that you have to hide, to even your best friend doesn't need to know that you did that. So now seeing that someone that I'm hoping she's going to be my friend in this city, she's just inviting me to do that on my first day with her. And when it comes dating, when someone is dating you, just to date, it's just most of the people they will date, if it's a potential person who can be like, if not, you are not young, like a high school sweetheart, but if it's someone like a grown-up who you think that it can be a potential husband, there's no way he can ask you to sleep with you the first night. It's because he wants you to see him as a man who respects you, who will protect you, who can respect you. So in cultural way, there is no way someone would ask you to be in bed from the first night. Yeah.
It sounds to me it's more like the traditional way of marriage, like how it's supposed to be. But from my experience, it's pretty much got backwards. Marriage doesn't exist. So it sounds more to me, it's like it's a traditional. It's like you date somebody for a while and then you wait for the guy to ask you to marry, put on a ring, and then put on a ceremony, have kids, and then you go on and have a career. It sounds like you got more traditional roots in Rwanda as well, which I think is really amazing. Yes.
Yeah, but it's I'm worried that they are imitating everything from the Western countries. Soon it's gonna be like here, people will start moving in, because my second challenge was, okay, I said, okay, I'm going to imitate everything here because otherwise I will end up being myself. So the guy was, I get chance to date someone else, and then he was successful. He was in his 40s and he was very well. And then he said, honey, I want you to come to live with me just only after 3 months.
Wow.
So he wants me to move in with him. Then I was, oh, what the title I would be holding in his house? Wife, girlfriend. So then when I said, I think we should just keep the things the way they are and see how it's going to be. Then he said, well, you better go back in your house, in your country, if you can live in my house then. So I believe sometimes it's because Americans, they don't have any idea about the rest of the world, the culture of the rest of the world. Because if you tell, like the way I told him, look, this doesn't exist in my country, I would better enjoying the way things are right now, and then see how. No, he said that I don't know what I'm looking for or what I want. So
okay, all right. And it sounds to me you're just trying to get things figured out as well too. And of course, living in Rwanda and living in the United States, of course, you talk about cultural differences. What are some of the cultural similarities that you notice between Rwanda and the U.S.? What are some of the cultural similarities compared to Rwanda and the U.S.?
To be honest, I would say No, really. No, there is nothing. The way you live with your neighbors, the way you live with your family, the way we respect culture, our culture, we respect our families, we respect our friends. It's everything. It's completely different. It's a huge shock when you are here compared to what you have been living in back home. It's a complete shock.
And what are some experiences you've learned as well too? Describe it in your book as well. Some of the examples you told me. What are some experiences you learned, and what can we learn from it?
I so that was the part of the pleasure that I said about sex, but then there is the part of the prejudice. I learned how people I didn't know about the prejudice about racism until it was in front of my eyes. I remember one day I went to a job interview at one of the 5 stars hotel. And then when I got there, they were looking for someone who can speak French. And then someone who came I believe he was the one who was supposed to give me the interview. He was like, oh, I thought you were white.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Yes. So then I was like, well, it was a really, really a shock for me. Then I was like, excuse me? He said, I thought you were coming from France.
Oh, okay. That's a different story.
So then I was like, well, then I said, no, I'm from Rwanda. And then he said, oh, Rwanda. So he went over his mind probably to find out where is Rwanda. And then I say, yeah, I'm from Rwanda. It's the part of the East Africa. And then he was like, so then how come you speak French? So, and I went over, I explained, but I didn't get a job, of course. So, but my statement is, if you are manager or you are in human resources for a 5-star hotel and you don't know that there are some countries in Africa that speak French, then you don't need to be in a manager or a human resources in a 5 stars hotel, because it was so ridiculous. So I was like, okay, so he was waiting for a white girl. And yeah, he couldn't hold it. He said it in front of my eyes, and I was so shocked. So, and again, I will go back to the Americans. They need to learn a little bit. It's just about the rest of the world. It's so ridiculous. Like one day I met this guy too. He said, oh, you have an exotic beauty. Then I said, thank you. Where are you coming from? Then I said, I'm from Rwanda. Oh, where does Rwanda? I don't know what that's a city is. Where Rwanda city is located in Africa. Then I was like, come on. First of all, it's a country. It's not a city. So you don't need to know where it's located, but at least. So, and then after he was like, oh, do you speak an African language? And I was like, come on. Each and every country in Africa, they have their own language. There's no existing. We don't have any African language that is common for the rest of the countries in Africa. No. So, Americans should learn that a little bit. Just about the rest of the world.
Maybe think about when you're talking about 5-star hotels. I remember watching the movie Hotel Rwanda.
Exactly.
And you know something too? I gotta say this. That was one of the best movies I've seen in a while. And I saw this way back and I said, that was a well done movie, Hotel Rwanda. That was a great movie.
Yeah, but as we said, if you are in such hotel and then you don't even know about the hotel movie, so it's Yeah, Americans should learn more about other countries, other culture, and yeah, that would be better. Just
Okay.
I would make them understand what it means to be an immigrant. I know not everyone is not everyone who's the rest who's the racist who, but at least.
Okay. And of course, another thing I thought about, we went through a king's list of your life experiences. You've been to a restaurant as well, too. How about some of the food in Rwanda that you like to share with us as well, too? And of course, I love talking pizza as well, too. And would like to have you try some pizza one day. Maybe you start a pizza chain like in Rwanda, United States, and all that. So, I mean, the food as well, too. It's just like, talk about some of the food and your experience with the food in the U.S.
The food doesn't taste the same. And the recipes can be sometimes the same in a way you there are many restaurants here, but then the food doesn't taste the same. Back home, all the food are organic, if I can say. So I
Yep.
was raised and we can have everything in the field near the house, and then everything was so organic, so it doesn't taste the same. But I like the way you can eat anything. So if I'm home, I can order Thai food, I can order pizza, I can order what you like pizza?
I was going to ask you this. What do you like on your pizza? I like sausage, pepperoni, onion, and green pepper, and add a little barbecue sauce to it.
I like veggies. Put
Oh,
top up my
something that's
pizza,
even better. I
top
like
up my
Hawaiian, by the way.
so yeah, I like that. So yeah, put any veggies, so that would be great. Yeah.
That's amazing. What's been the best food you've had so far in the United States so far? What's your favorite dish?
My favorite dish would be I'm a huge fan of Italian food.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Give me a good lasagna or pasta. So yeah, I can eat that like I can eat that for lunch, for dinner, and then the next day. So it's something that I can eat any time of the day and many times in the week. So, and I don't mind.
hmm You know something too? Food also creates friendship as well too. You want good friendship? Serve them some food, some of your favorite lasagna, pasta, spaghetti, or even like say ravioli, little pizza, and all that, and just tell them about it. I think that's probably the best way too. So I'd be glad to have pasta with you sometime. I'll get some friends to help you with it. So
Uh, so most of the Rwandese, we have, my country where we mostly have dishes from European dishes.
hmm
Um, I- to be honest, I was introduced to Thai food when I was here,
hmm
and was also what I like Jamaican food too, even though it's kind of a little spicy. But yeah, I would say I'm not that kind of picky. With the food, it's not a challenge because you can still be able to go to the store and buy whatever you want and come home and cook the way you want it. That the food was not really a huge challenge for me because I know I can go pick up whatever I want, then come home and cook.
Okay. That sounds very amazing too. And where can we find your book, Far Away From My Roots at?
My book will be published by August the 10th. So it will be on every Amazon, of course. And it will be on any most of the bookstore around the country. So yeah, on the August the 10th.
Okay. All right. We'll certainly check that out. What's coming up next for author Ivania Inyange of Far Away From My Roots. We'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by SoundCloud Studios. Visit online at soundclubstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with author Ivania Inyange of Far Away From My Roots after this time out. We're back with author Ivania Inyange on the Mike Wagner Show with Far Away From My Roots. And I mean, we learned a lot, a great deal from you, share experiences. I mean, it's just totally amazing. And we wish you all the best in America, in the land of the free and home of the brave. What else can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond, Ivania? What else can we expect from you in 2022?
I'm working on the book, on my new book. I believe it's, I get chance. That's the plenty part of this country. I got my master's degree, and then now I would like to write more about the global issues in terms of global health issues. So my upcoming book will be about one cause that I'm passionate about. It's about women. And yeah, that's what will be coming the next, I think.
And we're certainly looking forward to it as well, Vanya. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
I would say I like everything when it comes to the book, but for this part of the global health crisis, I was motivated by most different activists. We can't keep just saying, okay, let's say, for example, women empowerment without saying anything. There are a lot of health issues that are putting pressure on women's lives. So if we want to do something, we have something in my country. It's a saying, we say, let's expose to heal. So in order to show the world how we can help women, we have first to show what's the main issues that women are facing. So yeah, I was motivated by different activists, like it's not about a specific topic or specific issues, but if you see, like, I like so much Amar Clooney.
Mm-hmm.
She's into law, but I like the way she said she's fighting for people. Seeing her fighting for justice for different people, it pushed me to say, maybe I can do something that can help other people. But I chose to fight things for women. For example, my friends were like, why are you sharing? A memoir is like you putting yourself out there because you have to say everything. And then my friend was saying, she asked me, why are you saying everything? Why do you have to say everything? Then I say, can you imagine how many young girls are going to be trapped in a relationship, just being there because they believe that's how a relationship with a man is supposed to be? You have to sleep with, it's kind of a requirement to sleep with them. Can you imagine how many people you have friends, you go there, you find they are using drugs, but because you think that's how it's supposed to be, you have to be trapped and stay there, but they are not benefit you in a good way. So I believe activism is just, it doesn't have to be a very really big things, but those are even from these little things to let the young generation to know how to choose what is right and what is wrong.
That's a really good, interesting piece you mentioned as well, too. We'll keep that in mind. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Advice that
the best advice in general.
I would tell my fellow immigrants that, yeah, yes, America is a land of plenty, but you have to work hard. I'll tell them that good things are not easy to come. You have to work hard to get to the American dream. And also, I'll tell them that it's okay to keep your standards. Because at some point I was like, should I do this? Should I not? But it's okay. If you are from Philippines, from any country, from Ghana, from just whatever you believe that is right, keep it with you. So,
I like that.
For the rest of my fellow Americans too, so I would say, like, let's just try to learn a little bit about the rest of the world.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like that, and I think that's what they'll get out of the book. We're here with author Ivania Inyange on the Mike Wagner Show with Faraway From My Roots. Ivania, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'll have you back. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your book?
Thank you so much, Mike.
Your website and your book.
I believe my website will be ready for the next week. So whereas my social media, so people will be informed for every step where they can find my book.
And where can they find your book at potentially?
No, for you there will be a special copy for sure. So they will find my book in different bookstore, Amazon, and everywhere you can find the book.
Okay, we'll certainly do that. Once again, Ivania, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish you all the best, and you definitely have a great future ahead of you, especially in America.
Thank you so much, Mike. It was my pleasure to be here.